come into the army, you'll often be told that the parade ground is the place where soldiers are made. And in many ways it's true. Smartness and efficiency are vital. A smart turnout is good for you, for your unit, and for your morale. And it's not only good on the barrack square. Civilians judge the army by the soldiers they meet. And if they meet men who are smart, look efficient, then they're going to respect the army and have faith in it. And that's good for their morale. But there's a time and place for everything. And when it comes to battle, the smart turnout is set on one side. In battle, if you want to surprise the enemy, you've got to see without being seen. And you won't do it if you're a mass of gleaming brasswork and light equipment. This chap would be spotted a mile off and shot before he knew the enemy was there. The answer, of course, is camouflage. Something that will help the man to blend in with his natural surroundings instead of sticking out of them and forming a perfect target. Don't look now, but there's something wrong with that bush. Now this other chap is camouflage, or is it? Camouflage is not just a matter of hanging a lot of junk on yourself and thinking you're invisible. It's got to be much more practical than that. It must improve your fighting efficiency. So let's start at the beginning and find out what it is that makes a soldier conspicuous in the field. What would you suggest? Well, there are three things that give you away. Firstly, shine. Secondly, shape. And thirdly, shadow. Shine, shape, and shadow are the three things we've got to eliminate. So let's see how we're going to do it. First, we'll take the things you can do back in the fillet, the camouflage points that you can make more or less permanent. And we'll start at the top. Take the steel helmet shining in the sunlight. That must be toned down a lot. So first, on goes a piece of hessian, about 18 inches square. Then a net that holds it in place. Don't wear your net on a bare helmet. It's poor camouflage and it wears out the net. And for the same reason, don't wear it when you don't need it, such as on leave or off duty. Incidentally, tie that net with a slip knot, like the cord on your gas tank, so that you can slip it off if it gets caught on barbed wire or anything like that. So that's taking care of the shine, but the shape is still pretty obvious. So on go a few bits of scrim to break up the outline. Some on top, and some round the rim. And there you are. Lastly, loop a piece of string through the netting. You'll find it very useful later when you come to garnish the helmet. Make the loops no more than 2 inches long, keep them tight, and see they are fixed by 2 or 3 strands of the netting each time. So much for the helmet. Next comes your webbing. It may look pretty nifty in a fashionable pale green shade, but it's a bullseye target for the German bullets. So tone it down with the darkest blanco or with camouflage paint. And the brasswork. You've polished it often enough, and you'll polish it again when you come out of the line. But in the meantime, you've got to sacrifice smartness to safety and surprise. What next? Shine on the gas case. Right? Well, tuck it into your haversack out of sight. Now tie 2 strings across your haversack. And by the way, notice that knot in the middle. That's there to prevent the string slipping. These strings are going to hold the garnish in place later. Again, a few pieces of hessian will help to break up that telltale outline. What do we sacrifice next? That's right, boots. Polished boots are against orders in any case. Though they may have been a big success on the promenade, it's the enemy we're after now. So off goes the shine, and on goes the dust. And that's that, from top to toe. Or it isn't. No, it isn't. You must get rid of the shine on those weapons. Some dark, dull paint is the answer, and your unit should make sure it's there for you when you most need it, before you go into battle. And here's the completed job. Completed, that is, as far as we go at present. There's more to do, but we'll leave that till we're nearer the enemy. But get this, the camouflaging that you've seen these men doing is not one of the things that's going to be all right on the day. Do it before you see the enemy. You won't get a chance later. Now let's see what's going to happen when you get into battle. The section's taken cover, the sentry's posted, and the platoon commander is getting his orders. Now is the time to make those final preparations. The section commander gives the order. Number 1 section, prepare for battle. And he and his men add the final touches to their camouflage. Remember what they're trying to conceal: shine, shape, and shadow. So first of all, get rid of the shine of white skin. Smear camouflage cream over hands and faces. Don't worry about your look. It's a vital piece of personal camouflage, which you'll appreciate as soon as you get into battle. Look how the white faces of these men are giving them away. So, on goes the black cream. There are substitutes, of course: soot, dark blanco, or cocoa. But camouflage cream is easily the best. Next comes shape. Use the materials of the ground over which you're going to fight. Some grass in the helmet will make it really good. Pass it through the loops of the string and let it lap over the edge. You'll still see perfectly, and it'll take care of that deep shadow cast by the brim. The tight string holds everything perfectly in place. Another shape, the haversack, but the same treatment. Here's where the 2 crossed strings come in handy, to hold the garnishing in place. It's amazing how a few tufts of grass in the right place will break up that outline. That's the lot. Now it's the job of the section commander to check up. It's his responsibility to see that it's properly done. It's just as important as before a ceremonial parade. More important, because your life may depend upon it. So, not too little. Not too much. But just enough. Remember, if your camouflage discipline is bad, you're a danger to yourself and the men you're fighting with. What you've seen so far, you should look on as the least you can do in your preparation for battle. There are other things. For example, there are 2 men here. Can you spot them? No, well, let's look closer. Here are the face veil and the personal net. You see what an advantage they are when you're observing. And they've any number of other uses, as here, for example, to hide the telltale shape of a mortar barrel and ammunition. Here's another idea. With a couple of sticks, you can turn the net into a personal screen. That's excellent where cover needs thickening a bit, or you have to come in front and cover. Here's that wren from the front. It's only 25 yards away. Can you spot it? Well, there he is. So, shine, shape, and shadow, and the 4th one, common sense. Use your head when you're using camouflage. Remember that grass is a good garnish in grassland. And leaves are good in bushes or woods. But the other way round isn't so good. Okay, we've seen you already. But you're a different proposition. And remember our old friend the bushman. Bushes don't usually travel through fields, you know. Above all, remember that good camouflage may make all the difference between your surprising the enemy and his surprising you.
There he is. See him? Move right left to the back. Look up your foot, yeah? Fine. Off you go.
Good camouflage is the first step in good fieldcraft, but together they make an offensive weapon which is one of the strongest you have. Surprise!